I have to tell you that I've done a lot of tile work in my life. I've done it, I don't know, since I was a teenager. And I've learned a few things. First of all, don't like grout. This is my shower, and that ain't grout. That's silicone. Silicone it up. It don't have to be pretty. It's farmhouse. Okay, that's all there is to it. It just don't have to be pretty, but I don't have to mess with it. I don't have to seal it. I don't have to do anything with it. That's silicone in the shower. Getting ready to redo this because I grouted this with sand grout, modified, which means it has the stuff in it, but it still gets nasty. So I've tried a few different things. I've tried silicone, just doesn't work very well here. Oh, sorry, fella, expired. It's just too messy and to deal with, and you can't clean it with a wet finger. Let me open this up back here and I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm going to try this tonight. There's sand to grout back here. Who cares about back here in this back corner? I mean, this is just a service area. I tried some white paint and that didn't really work. Some acrylic paint. So I got my utility knife here that holds them kind of blades. You've seen it before. There's a video on it. Boy, that's a great tool. And I dug out the sand, and I dug out my other attempts at stuff, and lost a couple of tiles there to the vacuum cleaner guides, but I got more. The big thing, I got a couple right here. So I got some acrylic, the cheap crown molding. You can paint it; it dries real quick. So what I'm going to do, and this is going to be it. I had enough of this. I hate grout. The sanded, wipe it on, sponge it all the time stuff. I understand. You got to seal it all the time and all that. So I got this stuff. This is the real cheap stuff. I guess there's some cheaper. And I'm going to cut the narrowest little hole I can. And I'm just going to, I already got the water ready. I got a bunch of stuff to do in the barn all of a sudden. I had some work come by. So I was going to do this just now. But I've spent a long time cleaning this out and vacuuming it up. And just trying to make it as nice and clean as I can. And I'm going to just run a bead in here. And I'm just going to wet my finger here. And I'm just going to run it down. And we're going to just run that in. And we're going to call it a day. That ought to be fine. Wood, PVC, composite molding, whatever. So I'm a pretty good tile guy. I wouldn't say I was great, but I've done all the tile work here, and I put in them glass blocks and stuff. So I kind of got some experience. But I'm going to be doing that tonight. We're going to see what it looks like. But let's look at it now. And as much as you can tell, it's not very pretty right now. It's just gappy and ugly and stuff. But I'm going to wipe it off one more time so I won't get any contamination. So we're going to just run this through. I got silicone over here around the sink. I don't care. Yeah, I know I got to do dishes. So anyway, we're going to do that tonight. See what it looks like. I'll let you know. Okay, well, I've got all the stuff down in there, the acrylic caulk. Dang, it's so much better. And it's not going to get moldy and stuff. So all you got to do is just go touch up your little bits there. You know, this is sort of just the, how do you say, the preliminary run. I'm going to try to find some kind of triangular brass or something. I wish I was closer to that metal shop. But I'm not. So, but let me show you. Replace those. Those are nice. Those slider dimmer or potentiometers, whatever. So you'll find this to kind of not be much helpful to you. You kind of got to have a feel for it. So once you get it done, you see, just try to put the lightest amount in there you can. So I got some more touch up to do, and then you can just scrape that off. And it don't got to be perfect. Remember, it's just a farmhouse, not a big thing. Don't dig too deep. And I'm thinking of getting a Scotch-Brite pad and just sort of go into a ulterior kind of a back spot over there somewhere, and sort of see if you can just sort of scrub that out a little bit with a little Ajax and maybe a white or a gray Scotch-Brite pad, just as long as you don't scratch up your tile. I might have to kind of play around with that some. But you can tell here, you just kind of, it takes a lot of time. But you know, grout work takes a lot of time. And grout work's dirty and you have to seal it all the time. I get tired of it. So anyway, I think I'm good enough up here. I'm going to put my big Jaguar back up there. And we'll go with that then. Don't really want to handle this with one hand, but there she is. I had such fun building this. So anyway, let's put her back. Try not to trip. I have many tens of hours in this model. So I'm going to put her back. And that makes me so happy. With her working door and her windows roll up and down. And see, there she goes. So anyway, this is about tile. It's not about model building, is it? Is it? So there she is down in there. I did all that myself. Isn't that pretty? So anyway, glad to have her back out here. Oh yeah, working suspension. I forgot that. And the you can steer the wheels. So, all right, tile work. Rah rah rah. It's just boom by. Bugs Bunny. Okay, so I've got these pieces of angle here to kind of dress up the edge. I'm sort of thinking about the leaving it metal colored. You know I'm not going to be able to do that though, don't you? So it's going to end up looking like this. And we want the tall side going up. So I'm going to have to cut these somehow. Or will I? I don't even have to cut them. Just do them like that. I'm going to cut it anyway. So, so all I have to cut is this little 45 right here. Well, it's wanting to not lay for me. Alright, let's go powder coat these. So I'm going to make a mark on this little 45 just off this bottom part. And then we'll make this at an angle. And I think I'm going to leave that alone. You know I can't do that. So I don't take anything off that end. I think I'm going to cut this to just expose the blue right here. Now I'm not going to show you how I'm going to cut this because it's kind of a gnarly technique. So be sure and put your full face mask on. But I'm always afraid sometimes I'm going to show something, somebody's going to do it and they're going to get hurt. Like most of us are on YouTube. So okay, we'll make some marks and we'll go down to the shop barn thing where the cut things are and cut things. This might be a good opportunity for the controllable die grinder. Yeah, let's do that instead of putting it on a saw. That's what I was going to do. I was going to put it on a chop saw. Well, we'll use, because I've got the other rheostat for the die grinder thing that on a previous video you saw me do. So, okay, what fun. Actually, going to use something I just got the other day. Okay, I'm not going to cheap out here. I've got this copper, and I'm gonna powder coat in copper. And I know the air compressor's going. I don't want to wait for it. Let's see what it looks like in here. Let's try not to spill everything. As soon as you get it up, it goes back down again. This is a good container to hold stuff in. Yes. Riddle sprung, crummy joker. Yeah, that ought to be pretty. these are good containers because if you put them in anything else, your leftover stuff, if you don't have a plastic bag, because if you put them in a bottle, a glass bottle, something, the powder coat will get in there and seal them. You can't get it out. You have to heat it up to get it out. It's crazy. So just use plastic stuff like this, and that's my favorite right there. Not a sponsor. Okay, well, I mounted my new thing here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use a Dremel. I think that'll be fine enough. I mean, this is aluminium, so it ought to be okay. A little bit more control. I mean, this thing's kind of, you know, that'd be kind of hard. I can just hold this in my hand with a Dremel. And always mark an X on what you're not going to use because you'll get confused. Okay, let's cut them and see how they fit in here. Wonder if I can just stand them up in there. I think that's the way to do it. Don't have to hang them up, just stand them up from the bottom. Huh. Dremel did just fine and dandy. So I didn't show it just cut metal, but I cut these little bits off here, and then that's a little bit of scrap. I used to do that with something. So I didn't have to cut this at an angle. I was mistaken in telling that to you. So this is going to be that corner, and you'll see that it goes just fine. And I laid it down here and got it square, and I rounded off the edges a little bit so nobody's going to get hurt. So there's the back thing. So we're going to hang these up and shoot them with copper. I'm tempted to use my Seafoam Bonneville green, but I think the copper's okay. Let me get my respirator, for goodness sakes. Yeah, there it is. You don't ever do powder, any kind of powder coat work without a respirator. Uh-oh. Somebody wants me. All right, the crickets want me. Okay, I've got it sprayed off with brake clean. You can't really hang it up, so I'm just gonna lay it across here. It only needs it on the one side. So I gotta get my little thing on it here. And gotta think of what end would be less likely to be seen. I don't know what that is. Sorry, it ain't gonna hurt much. It's only a bathroom in a farmhouse, you know. Okay, so let's go. I usually hang things off this wire, but that ain't gonna be today. So I only got these two pieces. And I've kind of elected to not turn the oven on. I guess I could turn it on. I don't think I want the bottom part to get too hot, because it's going to kind of be sitting there. Let's just turn that light on in there. Okay, well, let's powder coat this sucker. Be sure and wear your PPE now, okay? And don't get hit by this 10,000 volts, because it hurts. Now, they say that aluminium doesn't corrode, but actually it does. It does more than people think. Ooh, I want that lid right there. That lid goes down here, see? There, it goes there. And that's why it doesn't corrode, is because it corrodes at the beginning, but it corrodes with touching dissimilar metals. But no, okay, that's not what we're here for. Okay, always check your gun. Blow the new color through it. Make sure you're getting your voltage. Don't hook the air to it yet. And then you got to get some. There you go, pop up. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. It's gonna make a little mess, but you can just blow it off. Ooh, let's not send current through the brake cleaner bottle. All right, here we go. Okay, there's nothing there. put it on there nice and thick. Okay, there's one down. We're just gonna stick her in the oven. It's one of my favorite car songs. Okay. All right. Well, I just realized something. Well, it don't fit. That's pretty good. Okay, smarty. I'm gonna try to do it anyway. I'll show you what I mean. It'll fit good enough for government work. That's pretty funny. I didn't even think about that. It's the stuff you don't think about, ain't it? I just have to turn it up and jack it up. It doesn't quite go in the oven. See, the end of it's hitting right there, but that's okay. I'll get 90% of it. All right, so that'll be fine. And we're gonna go up. It'll be fine. So turn that on. Make it a little hotter because the door's open. It's complaining about the door. Will it not turn on? Is that, yeah, I see it getting red down there. Okay, let's turn the light off now. Hit start. Okay, light won't go off because the door's open a little bit. Okay, well, it's heating up. Oh, I never noticed that before. Well, that's kind of bad. Well, now we know. Okay, well, we'll just... She's always a something, ain't she? It'll be good enough. We'll get her hot enough. That lower oven's going to waft up and get her hot enough. We'll just probably have to let that sit for like 30 minutes. Well, keep my hands warm anyway. So I always try to look on the bright side. Okay. Well, let's see. I think that worked. I can fix all this up with a little bit of a flare pen or something. So, that worked okay. Worked okay. Oh, I don't want to hear this. Alright, that's going to be okay because that's in the back corner, so there'll be something in front of it. But I got lucky on the little short piece because it just fits right across in there. So, it doubled my time down here, but I like it down here. It gives me something to do. And, I've been sort of, I got a project away from here. And, so, how'd that get over here? So, anyway. That's good. We'll have it up in the bathroom in just a second. Okay, so all you got to do here is you see that? There's a little white dot right there, and all you need is a Sharpie, and just touch on it right there. So you don't even see it anymore. Okay, and this right, see that edge right there? Like I say, this is in the corner. You're not going to see it anyhow. And right there. I think this Sharpie's dull. That's what I think. Well, let me get a fresh one. Okay. Let's get one that's got some ink in it. I think that thing's at least 3 or 4 years old. Well, might as well just, I'm trying to, I think, well, we won't go into that. Okay, alright then, it's going to be like that. I know they're in here. There they are. There they're not. Okay. Oh, here we go. It's good to keep a set of these around. A good fresh set. Well, brown might be better than black. Well, I'm glad that happened. See, everything happens for the best. Just like Meemaw taught me. Salad eating, no good. Okay. Yeah, and that was true, too. Yeah, that's there. Oh, wow. Ooh. This does good on furniture too, actually. Let's not have any problems. So there's the one that I just took out of the oven. See, it's got a veg spot right there. Okay. Couldn't get my fingernail polish I wanted today. I use fingernail polish for all kinds of things. Generally not my fingernails, unless I'm requested to do that, and it has to be a pretty mighty request. But you can believe women. I can never believe that they put acetone on their hands and stuff. Ooh, golly. I don't like using acetone for anything. Okay, well, let's go see how it looks. Alright, and then this will be it. We're going to call this quits. So, okay. So, there's, that goes there. Okay. All you got to do is just tack it down with a little bit of silicone, and maybe put a little weight right there, or a little tape. Tape I'd be careful with because it might pull the powder coat off. Okay, and then here's this little corner here. And then we're going to put that right there. Do you see that? It just disappears. And we're going to put it right there. And that's going to be the end of this long episode. I like that. That's a lot cleaner. Mike could bow it a little bit. Just take it off and bow it and get rid of that little bit of play right there. But or you could put something against here to there, and just put a little piece of wedge wood in there or something. This one I don't much care about. Okay, so all I gotta do is get the razor blade and clean this up, and I came and touched it up the other day, but I like my acrylic idea over grout. It's just cleaner, and you don't have to seal it and all that other stuff. So I did it in here, haven't had any troubles. So I gotta clean that that screen out. Okay, well that's it. Got a pretty sunset going. So give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Ain't that pretty? I like it. Alright, easy to do. We'll talk later. I'll think of something to do. I got a pretty good list, but we'll worry about that later. Alright, bye-bye. Thanks for spending time with me. Don't break anything while I'm gone. And don't a shame.